Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista, here on YouTube, and today is Saturday, April 2nd. So we went to the German restaurant last night. It is called Old Stein Inn, and it is in Edgewater, Maryland. It was very good. I had a small salad with shrimp, and then I had their potato pancakes, which are phenomenal. We also had a soft pretzel with like a couple dipping sauces, which that was really good. And then I had this really good hard cider. It was good. All in all, it was good. And then, but the best part, we went to Sonic. Now, there is not a Sonic that's close in our area, but there is a Sonic right by Bill's work. So we went there and got a milkshake. I had an Oreo Reese's peanut butter. Oh my, oh my, it was so good. And came home, watched some TV, and then today Bill and his friend went to paint the floor of the boat. That was the whole reason we took the boat there yesterday, to his work. Sorry, my nose is like allergies. And I fiddled around with some stuff today with my junk journal, which I'll talk about in a second. Then I had a massage, and then I came home, and then here we are. Yeah. So I'm still reading the book, The Dream Job. It's pretty good. Nice little mystery. Reminds me of the Clue movie, if you've seen that, based on the board game. Sort of. So, my junk journal. Let's talk about that for a second. A couple of you mentioned how it was unfortunate that I wasn't going to put my handwriting in the journal anymore, because as time goes on and I look at this journal from 10 or 20 years, I may regret that. So I thought about it. I'll take it on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, I may still write in it. I get the point. I get your point. I didn't really think of it that way. So, if you remember, because I started this morning, I was sort of like looking ahead at a couple pages to see how I was going to do the layout that I currently started. And I'm also contemplating on trying to figure out a different way to attach the fabric to the pages. So, mind you, I have used Heat and Bond. I have used... I put fusible webbing on the back of this one and then glued it. But when I would complete like the stitching on canvas and scrapbook paper and felt, I would wrap the fabric around a very thin piece of cardboard, and I would use stitchery tape usually to tape it to the back. I think for the one I'm working on now, I'm going to try that and see if I like that. I'm still not 100% happy with the way I've been attaching the fabric. The pages look good, don't get me wrong. So I looked ahead to the pages that, you know, I still have to do. I mean, there's a lot of pages still left in this book. And my brain kept coming to the page that I had. Remember, was going to stitch the sunflower for Ukraine, and then I couldn't find a sunflower pattern. Either they're too big or I didn't want to stitch it. And I had already started the layout. So that was a learning lesson. And so I decided to journal the mistake. Well, every time I flipped through this book, that page bothered me, because while I'm not having to have this journal be 100%, I still want it to be nice and neat and pretty. I still want it to be something when I open it and look at it that I love all the pages. So I sat and I'm like, okay, I wonder if I could cover up what I had done with some scrapbook paper. So I found some paper in the paper that I already own, because I own quite a bit. And I found coordinating paper because I kind of have something I'm going to put on this page. I ordered a chart from Heart and Hand, their Hummingbird Sampler. and it's done in like an olive green. So I don't know if I'll stitch it in a green color, but what I did was I took heat and bond and just ironed the scrapbook paper. So this is totally covering my, this was the page where I had done the glitter glue and all that. I love it. I think it turned out really good, and now I know I can do that. And then this was where I had journaled about making the mistake and all that. So I put that, this coordinates with that, believe it or not. I still did leave the facts about the war though, because, and I was talking about this with Bill, you know, this journal is not only to journal stitching, at least not for me. It's about also journaling what happens. You know, 20 years down the road, I'll look at this and be like, wow, this is what happened in February of 2022. And that's also why I wanted the HP Sprocket, that little camera that I can print photos from my phone, because I told Bill, I said, when we go to Ocean City, like for our wedding anniversary, I'll be able to journal about it in here. Yeah. So, and I realized too, and Bill made a good point. He's like, the journal is yours. You can do with it what you want. So on the pages that I don't particularly care for, like like this page, I had vellum on it and I didn't really care for it. I'm just going to cover it in scrapbook paper and just make my own layout. Kind of like I was doing a scrapbook layout. Like for this one that I'm doing, remember I started and I did a tiny bit of stitching today. Gathering Honey by Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts. I'm stitching this on 18 count, so it's going to fit on the page for sure. But I decided, I said, well, let me go find scrapbook paper that is like bees and honey and birds. So I did find scrapbook layout that is like that. So I purchased the paper pack from scrapbook.com. And what I'm going to do is probably, because not on that page, but on this page, I'm probably going to just completely do a scrapbook layout of it, you know, cover this whole page with scrapbook paper, and might even cover this too, and this. I mean, I can easily do that. So we will see. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, there are so many pages in this book that I absolutely love. Like, I was already looking ahead, like when I stitched the Christmas snowman one in blue. I thought about putting it on this page, because doesn't that look like snow? Yeah, there are some really, really beautiful pages in here. I just, it's going to be really awesome to, but yeah, I mean, you can do what you want with your own journal. And I'm also so glad that there's a ribbon closure, because this is going to start getting quite thick. You can see it's already. So yeah, so those were my thoughts. I'm like, while I'm not trying to make it 100% picture perfect and neat, I still have to love the pages. And if you don't love it, change it. Yeah. So I got a tiny, tiny bit of this done. The fabric I'm using is 18 count aida from, excuse me, 18 count aida from Seraphim Fabrics in Stonewashed. And I'm using DMC 4128, which is Color Variations. It's going to look so good. When I did just a couple stitches, I was like, ooh, I really like this. So I did, like I said, a tiny bit today just to get started. And for once, I started in the middle. That's literally all I got done. Oh, that focused in good. But yeah, so I'm using one strand on 18 count because that's how I roll now. And yeah, I started in the middle. So this is going to be nicely centered on this piece. And yeah, so starting in the middle, you wind up stitching this right here. And I went yesterday, oh my, so my no buying went right out the window because I decided to search for buttons on Just Another Button Company's website. They have so many smalls that have buttons with them, like the word, especially for Christmas, they have like joy and Mary, and it has like these little buttons, and the kits were like, I don't know, $5. I'm like, dude. So I bought a bunch of those. So when those come in the mail, and then I actually went on to Primrose Cottage Stitches store on Etsy and bought a bunch of their paper patterns. Their patterns are so cute, and they have such cool small ones. So yes, I did some shopping. I know. You can't take it with you, right? Yeah. So that was the little bit of stitching that I got done. No, I've made purchases, but they haven't come in the mail yet. So when they come in the mail, okay. I'm trying to like organize here. All right, talking point. And if you are a fan of Bath and Body Works, they are having a sale today. Their jar candles, their 3-wick candles, which I absolutely love, are on sale for $15.95, marked down I think from $24.95. So that's a pretty steep difference. So I went in today and I bought my mom's Mother's Day gift because I was going to get her a candle. She doesn't watch my videos, so she doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so this was the talking point, and I haven't. I'm glad that I bookmarked this. I'm going to go, when I go to sit downstairs with Bill and relax and all that tonight, I'm going to peruse this because this person posted, what have you all done with variation and variegated thread? Looking for inspiration for what to do with these I got in a marketplace stash. So, and she said pictures would be amazing. So she must have bought this off of Facebook Marketplace, which is a bunch of variegated. And there are 73 comments of different projects that people have done, and I can't wait to, oh, I like this one. Look at this little egg. Well, it's going to go sideways. But it looks like a Fabergé egg, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to peruse this and look and take a peek because I'm always looking for new ideas for variegated patterns and stuff because I have all of those threads, and I absolutely love the way that the DMC Color Variations does their color variations, because it's about every five stitches you get a different color. And I mean, if you look, let me try to show you. And this one is called Gold Coast. This has a name. They all have names. But if you look at the thread, you can see it's really light up here, right? And then as you go down, you know, it gets more, and it's showing up lighter in the viewfinder than it actually is. But it is beautiful shades of gold and yellow, and that's why I'm like, Gathering Honey would be perfect for that piece. So let me know down below, what are your favorite patterns like monochrome that you can stitch? And you know, Ink Circles has a bunch. They're fabulous for those. They are the one that really comes to mind. But okay, I have 2 OMG moments today. This one, holy hell. Okay, so this person, Jessica, posted in one of the groups and says, has anyone ever sold a large piece? How much did you charge? This piece is just under 165,000 stitches and took me 18 months and has a really expensive custom frame, but I don't know how much I could realistically expect or if I'd be able to find a buyer for it. It's stunning. Wait till I show you. I don't know what people said, but it is a Harry Potter piece. Like, it looks like a part of the cover of all of the books. That's solidly stitched. Holy moly moly. Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love that so much. It's hard to price needlework, in my opinion. You're never really going to be able to get what it's worth, in my opinion, between framing and the time you've put in and all of that. It's hard. Okay, and then the last OMG moment. Michelle posted in a group and said, show some love for my dad. Now hold on to your hats here. Show some love for my dad who finished this work in progress after 25 years of working on it. 316,000 stitches. It is 20 by 25 on 25 count aida. You go, Dad. Look at that. I would be getting that framed like nobody's business. I mean, what? First of all, dedication for 25 years of finishing a project. Wowza. Amazing. Okay. Today's story is called A Lesson from a Chef. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Join that fucking club, right? Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire, so he turned the burner up high. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what he was doing. Shut up. After 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. And turning to her, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she hastily replied. "Look closer," he said, and touched the potatoes. She did and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. Coffee. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and coffee beans had all each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in boiling water it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. "So which are you?" he asked his daughter. "When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato that becomes soft and weak? Are you an egg that becomes hard? Or are you a coffee bean that changes and creates something new?" I love that because, and it says the moral, in life, things happen around us, things happen to us, but the only thing that truly matters is what happens within us. Which one are you? And I think at one time or another, if I'm honest, we are all a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean at some point in our life. Yeah. I feel like as I get older, I really think about things more. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's a cause of just mortality and realizing that I'm potentially halfway or more than halfway through my life. As I get older, I find I have less energy for bullshit. But I love that story. That's a really good analogy. So the next time I'm having a bad day at work, am I going to be a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? Yeah. Okay. So, Okay, this is a good one. Live on purpose. What would it look like for you to actually live with purpose? Who would you be? What would you be doing? If money wasn't in the picture, right? If we didn't need to pay bills, I wouldn't work. I literally would. My purpose, creating, I feel like the needlework. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like creating. I mean, when I really start stitching and get into really get like into the zen of it, it's definitely, it's very calming. When I am creating the junk journal pages, I really feel like I'm in like the zone, like time just flies. But then on the other hand too, I feel like if that was my job, if that's like what all I did, or I turned it into a career, I may grow to hate it. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like for me, I don't know, I feel like I am serving my purpose right now. I'm not going to be working at my job forever. I am going to retire someday. But it's almost like you need that balance between that kind of job and then the stitching or the painting or whatever you do. I don't know. I feel like I'm babbling. But do you agree? Like, I think I'm correct in a little bit, where it's almost like you need rain so you can appreciate the rainbow. You know what I mean? Like, if your life is always just great all the time, I don't know. Here I am trying to spout philosophical crap, right? But no, I like to think that things happen for a reason. We are in our life the way that we do things. And I saw a saying, it might have been on one of these calendar entries. You're living the life you want because it's the life you have, or something like that. Like, you know, instead of, maybe it was from Janine Roth. Instead of always looking and wishing your life was different, how about living the life that you currently have? Yeah. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Saturday and a great rest of your weekend. I will be back on Monday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for spending some of your time today with me. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.